Welcome to Random, Rambling, and Rhetoric with TeeJ Mercer. That's my TT. And it's all powered by her Samsung Notes. Now, here's my TT.
I just loves me some porta potties, said no one ever. I don't know about you, but the ickiest thing on the planet is when I am forced to use a porta potty. I try to hold my bladder until the last possible minute. And what about nasty public restrooms? Ew, public restrooms plus kids. Parents, what do you do as soon as you take them to a public bathroom? You make them hold up their hands and forbid them to touch anything. Then you get in the stall, there's no toilet paper or seat cover, you handle your business, come out, and then there's no soap or paper towels. Lord have mercy. Jesus is just not a good situation all around. Fortunately, there's the restroom kit, a full bathroom solution the size of a lightweight deck of cards. A deck of cards, y'all. I keep one in my purse all the time just because it's complete with a full patented oversized toilet seat cover, enough toilet paper to cover the essentials, plus wet wipes for your tushy and your hands. The restroom kit is a don't leave home without it necessity for your road trips, you going camping, the beach, festivals, basically any restroom that ain't yours. Even that friend of yours who's cleaning is not their strong suit. You know what I mean? So pop on over and visit therestroomkit.com. That's therestroomkit.com. And when you use the code RAMBLINGS, RAMBLINGS, you will get 15% off your purchase. So stop going to the bathroom without the full protection you need. Go get the restroom kit at therestroomkit.com. Hey, it's your girl TeeJ Mercer, your host of this podcast that is full of shenanigans and stories and just the random ramblings that happen in my head. And I'm on my walk as I normally am, and I'm thinking about this article that I read over the weekend. And the article was, I think, like 24 things you didn't know about the show ER. Now, ER was a hit back in the 90s and 2000s. And ER, it was a medical drama on NBC. And it held a special place in my heart because it premiered in 1994, which was the same year that I moved to Los Angeles to pursue my dream of working in Hollywood, and I landed on the TV show Extra, which was 1994 was Extra's first year too, so I was on the launch team of that show. And I used to work nights as an assistant editor, but I would take time, I would schedule my lunch break at 10 o'clock at night to sit in the conference room and watch ER. And so ER has always kind of just resonated with me because that's one of the fond memories I had as coming up through the ranks of, building my career as a TV editor. And so I read this article, and one of the first things that came out for me was that the script for ER had been shelved for 20 years. And oh my gosh, I can't remember the script writer's name. I can't remember if it's John Crichton or Michael Crichton. I could be confusing the two. Don't quote me, but it's Mr. Crichton. We'll just go with that. It was his brainchild. And at the time, people thought it was too edgy, it was too fast-paced, it had too much medical language, and that people couldn't, track the dialogue. So it was shelved for 20 years, 2 decades. It was shelved. When it finally came to be, it lasted for 15 seasons. It went from being, no, we can't do this, no, we can't, we're not gonna do this, to 15 seasons of hit success that made the careers, good morning, that made the careers of some of the most recognizable names in Hollywood, from Juliana Margulies to George Clooney to Noah Wyle to Gloria Rubin. It was just, it made the careers of some of these people. And so as I'm reading this, I have several friends who are script writers, and they've been trying to get their scripts, made for years. And it inspired me. It inspired me because I just heard the thought in my heart, premature production leads to certain failure. The landscape wasn't quite right for ER at the time. But baby, when it premiered in 1994, it was an instant hit. I used to be glued every Thursday night at 10 o'clock waiting on that show. And I was engrossed in the characters. And here's the other thing that the article was saying, that pretty much, what's his name? Black dude, Eric LaSalle. It launched his career. But it was saying that pretty much the script remained unchanged for 20 years. There was it was initially, all white doctors. So then they hired Eric LaSalle, and I forget who else, but they made some casting changes, but the article said that it was pretty much the same word for word of the script. And so I posted on Facebook that sometimes God gives us a vision that is so far ahead of its time that the technology hasn't even been invented yet. And later on, I'm going to interview one of my closest friends that this is a page straight out of her journey. Something she created when we were students at Howard. There's something she had a vision for when we were students at Howard. The technology hadn't even been invented to actually handle it. So God gives you this vision for something, knowing that you're going to need the building blocks. God is giving you a vision that he has to groom you. He has to actually shape you. He has to build character in you so that when he delivers it, you have the character to handle it. Because premature production means certain failure. It's like baking a cake. If you take that cake out of the oven too early, it's going to be a hot mess. You're going to have some runny cake batter. But if you let it cook at the right time, if you've baked it and put all the right ingredients in it, and if you think about it, each one of those ingredients by itself may not taste good at all. But when you merge it with the right experiences, you merge it with the cake that you're baking for this vision, you merge it with the right experiences, you merge it with the right people, you merge it with the right character, you merge it with the right funding, it comes out and it ends up being this success. So I wanted to actually just take a minute to encourage you that the vision that God gave you, it is for an appointed time. And like the word says, it's an appointed time, and though it tarry, you must wait for it. You must wait for it knowing, not wait for it anxiously, not wait for it impatiently, because Lord knows, have mercy, Jesus, I am not the most patient person. But we got to wait for it and trust and have the faith that knowing that at the time that God has deemed it so, it will come to pass. We have to have the patience and the faith to know that there are things that God is doing in us. There are things that people haven't even maybe been born yet that's going to be a part of the project, a part of the vision. There are people who are getting the skill set in that corporate job that's going to be needed to support you in the vision he gave you. We just have to trust. And I understand that that's one of the hardest things to do because you want it to happen now. You think you're ready, but you just got to trust that God knows what he's doing. He's intentional with how he gets down. He's not going to let it show up too early. He ain't going to let it show up too late. He's going to make sure that you can handle what he's bringing to you. And if you try to make it happen and cause a premature production of it, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to have certain failure. So that's my heart. I hope it blesses you. Sorry, as I'm walking past a truck that decided to turn on as soon as I come up on it. But I hope this really blesses you and settles some of the anxiety that you may experience. You know, God showed me a vision of something when I wasn't even thinking about it about 7 years ago. And slowly but surely, he'll send me like reminders that I wasn't crazy. He did show it to me, but I can see that he's building the blocks around me for it to come to pass. If that's you, please, please don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. Hold on to the promise, knowing that God has not forgotten. Even when he seems silent, he has not forgotten. His word is true. He does not lie. And if he gave you the vision, he's going to see to it that as long as you are obedient, it's going to come to pass. Just don't get ahead of God's timing. Just don't do that. All right. That's my heart. As usual, go out and make God smile. In my case, I'm going to do what I can to have him bust up laughing. And don't forget the SRS effect, the SRS factor, the subscribe, the review on whatever platform you're listening on, and share it with people that you think may need a little bit of TeeJ in their lives. But no pity shares. Share from a genuine place. All right? I'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Well, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed what my TT shared with you. And like she always says, let's go out and make God smile. And don't forget to hug somebody. It's T2 Mercer signing off now. See y'all later.